Hello and welcome to the update. This is a part 2 of the Ghostbusters haslab spengler proton pack. These are some updated modifications I made from the first video, and it actually tackled a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to fix. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through everything that happened right now. So enjoy. All right, well, first let's begin with the cables and brass fittings and elbow fittings. So first of all of the cables on the pack here, these have all been replaced with screen accurate cables. So this is all looking way better. The colors are looking so much better. You can see the brass fittings here, and also the brass fittings over here and over here. So these cables as well are all screen accurate. This is all looking way better. Just the look of these compared to the old cheap plastic cables looks so much better. So I added all of these guys as well. You can see these are more screen accurate elbows, which are also over here as well, screen accurate elbows. New cables as well. And you can see here, real Dale transistors. So I'm really proud of that. This came out really well. Added these as well as the third one on this side. Real Dale transistors look really good. Definitely make the pack have a lot more detail. And speaking of detail, you can see these cables here. These go all the way down into here, which is a lot more screen accurate. So as you can see here, excuse me, these cablings are all replacing the cheap plastic cables that I had before. Looks way better. I mean, this thing really does pop now that it has real cables, real screws, all the brass fittings as well. That's real brass, and as well as this. And speaking in this area, Ghostbusters 1 ribbon cable. So I attached that to this one here. This looks so much better. This is all Ghostbuster 1 ribbon cable. To complement the wire loom that I got. I replaced that as well in the last video. But that was one of the biggest things because that ribbon cable, holy smokes, looks so much better. I did age it a bit, weathered it down, and also too, while we're here, updated these cables as well. So these look so much better. I mean, I love the color of them. Everything's looking so much better than the old cheap rubber ones that were before. These are all updated fittings, added that as well. You can see one here as well. So that's looking so much better than it did before. So all of these brass fittings, you can see them here and here. So everything that is metal is now metal, and that goes down to the screws as well. And all of the cables are now 100% replaced. The only one I did not replace was this guy right here. So this is the original rubber hose, only because I didn't really see a need to replace it. I just replaced the brass fitting here. It's in the back. It fit perfectly in the brass fitting. I just glued it in with epoxy. So didn't really feel a need to replace that guy. But everything else has been replaced and it's looking so much better. And that goes down to the shock too. So this metal shock bumper, got this from Italy, came in, real metal, looks so much better in person than the original plastic one. Weathered it down a bit, so it's looking a lot better as well. So this is all stuff that I'm really happy with. There's a lot of screws and stuff like that at the bottom here that I replaced. You're never really gonna see it, and especially on this side, replace these with real screws. And this guy here, this is a big one. So this right here is the heatsink. So that was a 3D print that I got online. They had 3D printed coppering in there. I didn't like it, so I cut it all out. This is all real copper that I placed in there. It took me a while. And then I put in a real transistor that's on top there. Got that off Amazon. And then put in real screws. So these are all real screws. So that looks so much better than the cheap plastic one that was on the side. I mean, just look at all that. It looks really good. So those are the major updates I did on the side. And another thing too, I'm gonna take this off. Again, real bolts. Added the real bolts in here. I might maybe do some weathering, but it's looking pretty good. real screw as well. And of course this, I might maybe weather this, but it's looking really good. I might just leave it as is. But that's all of the major updates I did on the pack when it comes to cables, brass fittings, wirings, all that good stuff. And there is a few other updates, and I'll show when we cut back to it. Let's talk about some of the updates I did inside the pack, which is pretty exciting. So first of all, on top here, there's actually a speaker that comes out here. That's where the sound is. And so I replaced that speaker with a 2.5-inch speaker that I got off Amazon. It's got a lot more bass, sounds way better. And I even bought a bracket to attach that speaker from Etsy that's made just for this haslab pack, and it worked out perfectly, and it sounds so much better. And while we're here, I also added this, so the ion arm. This is a 3D print that's weathered, that looks really nice, so it actually has screws in here, so added that as well. Super minor, but definitely worth mentioning. But let's turn this on and check it out. Sounds way better. So I have it set to the original Ghostbuster mode, so Ghostbusters 1. And as you can see here on the outside, I did actually add some diffusers that I got off Etsy, and that helps hide the LED bulbs that are in there. So now even on the phone, it looks so much better than it did before. So these light up way better. So I was really happy with that. That's a quick, cheap fix that you can do because they're just little diffusers that fit on the outside and you just put them perfectly inside. And I did weather them a bit, so it does look a little more screen accurate over here as well. And so that's on the outside. So let's go to the switch that's on the inside there. So I'm gonna turn this guy off. And as we go inside here, this is kind of something I showed on the first film. This is a 3D print. The only difference is I did add a couple extra switches. So this is cyclotron lights and this is keep alive. Keep alive is here because if you turn this on, it turns on the entire pack and it keeps it on. So without this, the proton pack actually shuts down at around 3 minutes, I think. So this keeps it on if you want to keep it on all day until your battery runs out. And as you can see there, there's the battery that I installed as well with the cable I had from last time. And I also added some extra stickers and some decals in here because I had the, extra little things that I bought. So I just go, looks cool, added it in there. So that's the inside of that. And so what are the cyclotron lights? Well, that lives in here. So let's take a look on the inside of this. All right, so here we are on the inside of the cyclotron. I'm gonna zoom in here to show these custom LED switches I made. So this is how it looks right when you take it straight off. Got these cool little lights on the side, and I'm gonna remove this and we'll see how it looks on the inside. All right, so this is the inside, and as you can see here, I kind of painted it a little bit, so I got the little cables and stuff like that. It's not great. I could maybe add some more accurate cables, maybe some real ones in the future, but this is it for now. But let's go to the inside. So I did kind of paint this a little bit as well. So not great, but you're not really gonna see any of that stuff, but I painted it inside as best I could. So you can see all the detail there. And let's go into the light switch. So as you can see the light switch that's happening here, these guys just kind of flicker by default. Cool little busy activity. This switch here is actually turns it into afterlife mode. So that'll change the cyclotron lights on the front. So that's the same switch that came with it. That's back into 84 mode. This switch here, this is actually the rumble pack. So that indicates that the rumble pack is on and the little vibrating rumble pack is off. So you can put those on, that says the rumble pack's on and it's back in afterlife mode. But it looks so cool. I mean, I just like how this looks in here. And the switch that I have on top actually controls the lights here. So you can keep the lights on or off depending on how you want to, conserve battery. But yeah, very happy with how that turned out. That was the last thing I wanted to do. So that's the update to the inside of the cyclotron. Also, just a really quick update on the hose. So as you can see, this is a hose I got off Etsy. Added some extra wiring here to give it that weather detail. And the other big thing too with the hose is I actually was able to get a connection, this hose here. So just like in the film, it goes from this plastic hose to this kind of rubber tube, or like tire tube or pressure tube. And then that connects into here, which is the scuba tube. And also too, I got a 3D print and I repainted this to match the film. So this is all accurate how it connects. This could probably use a little more weathering or a little more beating up, but I'm pretty happy with the way it is right now. And it looks and moves so much better than the original one. And also too, just on speaking of the Neutrino wand, again, new hose, put that new in as well, weathered it a little bit. And also too, any place that has screws on here, I'm just gonna move this guy over. Here on top, all on the side, I put in real screws. So just some minor updates on this as well, as much as I could. So that's about it. So those are all the updates for the Ghostbusters HasLab Proton Pack that I have. I'm pretty happy with how everything went. Let's fire it up. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. It was a blast to work on, and I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Have a good day.